Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo and today is Monday, March 16th, 2020. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. If you watch the news, it feels like the entire world is shutting down and being quarantined inside houses and buildings because the coronavirus is apparently taking over the universe. But if this ends up being how the zombie apocalypse starts, I think I like my chances if I'm anywhere near Michael Toscano. The sophomore standout added a new ton of muscle over the last few months, and he's coming into this year with a lot of momentum after a strong second place debut at the Legion Sports Festival last year. Every year it seems like there's someone in the 212 division who jumps up 2 levels to become an Olympian, and I see Toscano as someone who could fit that mold. So if he stays the course, he could be poised to have a breakout season. Hey, just because the coronavirus ruined your weekend plans doesn't mean you have to skip out on celebrating International Chest Day. Juan Morel didn't. Today, a new clip surfaced of Juan taking the 180-pound dumbbells for a ride inside the East Coast Mecca, which was still one of the free remaining coronavirus-free zones on the East Coast. Last I checked. According to Juan, he feels as strong as he ever has in a long time, and he's confident that he'll be able to keep pushing the weights even further as the season rolls along. And if the rest of the world is on quarantine and Juan's one of the few lonely soldiers still training, it sounds like he's got a pretty solid competitive advantage, if you ask me. I have a question for you. Why do you think you've never heard anyone complain about being sick of driving their Ferrari? Well, for me, that's an easy one. It's because people don't complain when you're working with the best. And that's where we are right now with Shanique Grant. With all due respect to anyone else in the division, she's the only person in women's physique who has enough horsepower to hit 200 miles per hour on the track, while everyone else is in the garage tightening and tuning and trying to make some tweaks. Shanique's just sitting there at the line, daring someone else to pull up and rev their engine. And I don't know about you guys, after only 2 years of her in the pole position, I still have yet to hear a single person complain about who's behind that wheel. On a scale of 1 to 10, my expertise as an investor hovers somewhere around a weak 5. But even in my limited knowledge, I know the real key to growing your money comes from making smart investments that take advantage of compound interest over time. And in some ways, it seems like compound interest is the best way to describe George Peterson's transition to the 212 division. With George set to make his debut at the New York Pro in May, we're already almost at the halfway point of his prep. And from what I understand, he and coach Justin Miller have had their game plan mapped out for months now, which means now it's just a matter of execution. And since they've already invested so much into the process already, now it's almost time to sit back and let the compound interest do its thing. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.